Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite is everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the NFL for me, at Glenn Rockney for Glenn, and of course, pandasubs.com. Discount code TDL for 25% off. Make sure you get your pandemic. Make sure you guys get your extreme pre-workout there. You know what I'm saying? Get that heart rate up. You know what I'm saying? Before that workout. It's New Year's Revolution time. Go ahead and hit that Panda Subs. And also hit up the homage here. Boom. Get your homage. Get your homage stuff going. You know what I'm saying? And then also, make sure you hit up the Tape Don't Lie store. Got a couple sales. So somebody finally bought the mug. You got a mug buyer. Somebody finally got a mug. Glenn, somebody finally got the mug. So definitely make sure you hit up the TDL store. Check that out. Get you a shirt. So if you want to get your wife a crop top, you know what I'm saying? Man, if you rock crop tops, you want to go night, I don't know. You're just saying that if you want to do that, that's what you want to do. Like I said, you could do that as well. But make sure you support the channel here, But we're back today, guys. Of course, it's not going to be too many stats today. We're not going to do too many stats. We're going to be talking about coaches, who's the next Raiders head coach, and when that's going to happen. We got tons of interviews that are happening. The Raiders are doing their due diligence this time. I mean, did they interview this many people last time?
I've not in my lifetime. I don't think have they ever done this. I mean, you could fact check me on that, but I don't think Al was doing this many interviews. Certainly not. Mark, we Del Rio. Maybe the year they hired Del Rio, I think, is the only year I could think of. Maybe and Dennis Allen. Maybe those are the only years I can think of. Like maybe they had this many interviews, but I still don't think they did.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. Man. All right. Do not remember that at all. This is kind of a little strange. But it's cool. We'll rock with it. We're rocking with it. But today, like I said, we're just gonna be going over some coaches and answer you guys' questions. See what you guys got for us here. But how you feel today, Glenn?
Oh, I'm good. I got Houston -3. It's 0-0 right now, so we'll see. We'll see. Had the under in the Chargers Patriots game last night. Guess why it was the under? It's the Chargers. They're not scoring any damn points. Everybody's shocked. Everybody's like, I have to do my research as to why the Chargers didn't score any points. Because it's the Chargers in the playoffs, guys. It's not that hard. They suck. Herbert is not him. Greg Roman's not good. Jim Harbaugh's already kind of wearing off that first couple years of Jim Harbaugh. We're already in year 3 of Harbaugh coming up. And that's when stuff starts going south. Either he gets caught cheating or his players all get arrested and he gets fired. Because that's what happened with the Niners. So that's I'm feeling good about that aspect. It was fun watching the Charger meltdown. I don't love the Patriots, but I mean, come on, let's be real. I'd rather see Drake May take down Justin Herbert and be the better version of Justin Herbert. So that was fun.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Herbert looked terrible yesterday. The thing is, okay. When I talk about Mendoza, right now, I don't want to make any declarative statements about Mendoza's better than this, better than that. But one thing I like about Mendoza is, as nerdy as his conversations are, as nerdy as his, pressers is, his little dino nuggets and all the stuff that he does, that he doesn't play like a nerd on the field. Justin Herbert plays like a nerd. Yeah.
He's thinking about efficiency the whole time. And all last night, he tried not to throw an interception. That's all he was trying to do. That's all he was trying to do. Every single play, he didn't want to throw an interception. And that led to holding the ball, taking some bad sacks, fumbles, all these things. And you watch guys like Josh Allen, who's Josh Allen throwing to? Not a lot.
Shavers?
Yeah.
Terrell Shavers?
These guys, none of these guys would be these, number ones on a lot of teams is all I'm saying. So you see all these guys, it's because Justin Herbert plays like a nerd. And the Chargers want to do this hard-nosed football thing with a quarterback that plays like a nerd. And it's good enough to get him to the first round. And I'm a little jealous of that because I'd like to get to the first round of the playoffs. But,
yeah,
nah.
Yeah. I am that was fun to watch. It was just, and everybody just jumping on the bandwagon, and I've been on it for a while. It's awesome. I was like, now he can he win the big one. It was great. It was great. That did make my weekend, watching him just look absolutely terrible.
We did beat Herbert. I'm sorry, I disagree with CMV there. We kept them out of the playoffs one year and went to the playoffs. So we took one of his many big game losses was to the Raiders.
Yeah.
That was that. I mean, I know that's 4 years ago, which is like a dog year, right? Away. I get it, but it's just no. I feel comfortable talking shit about Justin Herbert. I felt comfortable shitting all over Phillip Rivers for many years, and he was beating us. He was beating us. I don't care. And then we started beating him towards the end, which was nice.
Yeah. Phillip Rivers used to kick our ass all the time too, man. But yeah. I mean, they were beating Herbert for a while. They just haven't beat Herbert with Harbaugh. But we haven't had a coach that beat Herbert.
Yeah, we're just hibernating right now. It's not great.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're talking about some of these coaches. Like I said, it has been a crazy week. I don't know. Have they interviewed all these guys? These guys must be busy. What is Brady doing? How's Brady getting ready for these games?
I don't know. I tend to think he's not as involved as people think. I tend to think he's I think I said it the last stream. I think he's the guy that if Spytech says, man, I think this is the guy, Brady goes out and like is the thing that pushes it over, like, hey, come coach for me. I think he's a selling point. I think he's involved. But I think Spytech's kind of just this is what his process right now. It's just my opinion, but because Brady was involved last year. And they just hired Pete Carroll. They basically just tried to get Ben Johnson, then hired Pete Carroll.
Yeah,
Brady was involved. Spytech was hired 3 days before Pete Carroll was brought in. So I think this might be John Spytech's process.
Yeah, it might be because
the closer. He's the closer. He's Mariano Rivera. You know what I'm saying? Like Brady, I think is that guy. Like just okay, this guy's got two different teams right here, and then Enter Sandman starts playing, and he comes in out of the bullpen. And
I guess so.
That's what I think. That's just what I think is happening.
Yeah, because that just doesn't make any sense, man. Like they interviewed like 9 guys. I'm trying to see how many other teams have interviewed people, but I just feel like they literally have interviewed like 10 guys. It's just been crazy. Like they're going nuts. This is the thorough work. It's just like study. Like we are not going to get this wrong, which I kind of appreciate a little bit.
Right.
Because you don't want them to get it wrong. They've been getting it wrong for a long time, right? I mean, since Gruden, right? I mean, I guess did they get Gruden wrong? I mean, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, Gruden would probably still be the coach if
you never know. You never know. I think maybe it would have been at least until like last season. I think like 2024. I think could have been his last year. Like if it was just not going well, but you never know. And I just think the Raiders were constantly in this bidding war against themselves for a lot of times. They're in that way with free agents. They're in that way with coaches where they think they're smarter than the rest of the league. Mm-hmm. And, I understand that feeling like you're the smartest person in the room, even if you maybe aren't. I understand that, but you have to conduct a full coaching search. It's if you see other teams that have better records than you that are hiring coaches or have been in the playoffs more recent, like it's good to kind of turn over every coin. Now it's quite clear they're focusing on an offensive candidate though, which is what I like. It's what I like. I think the fact that the QB is not on the roster yet, but it seems to be on the way. I think you really want to get that offensive coach in here the same year as the quarterback. So it's just, for a fact that that's what they wanted, So if you take the Raiders head coaching job, it's because you want to coach Fernando Mendoza as an offensive coach. That we know that for a fact. So we don't have to deal with a Brian Flores situation in Miami if we're to believe that he wanted Justin Herbert over Tua. Like you don't have to have that lingering thing. So I do like that they're going on offensive coordinator, the offensive minded coach side of things, but some of the defensive names are intriguing, I will say.
Yeah. Big SC said the Fowler piece last week said it's Spytech search with the focus on offensive guy.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess I kind of put up the list and then we'll go some of his questions, but I got the list right here. We added to it. So these are the guys. I mean, the top guys are from last week. These are all the new ones, right?
Yeah.
So they're doing defense this week, I guess, kind of.
Yeah. So, I mean, they'll go through the names real fast. We have Clint Kubiak, Davis Webb, Vance Joseph, Kevin Stefanski, Matt Nagy, John Harbaugh, Chris Shula, Jesse Minter, Ejiro Evero, I believe is his name, Nate Shieldhouse, Mike LaFleur. So that's a lot. I will say there's only like 2 names on there that would like ruin my offseason. It's not hard to pick those 2. Right, to me it would be Vance Joseph and Matt Nagy. Those would be the 2 that would just be like, well, that's terrible offseason, same old Raiders. Everyone else would be intriguing. I definitely like some more than others. Well, I guess we'll go down the list. Kubiak interviewed Friday, right?
Yeah, he interviewed Friday. So how many guys have they actually interviewed on this though? I mean, they requested. How many guys have they actually interviewed yet?
I know Davis Webb, Kubiak, Vance Joseph, Kevin Stefanski. They did. Nagy.
Okay.
And then they've requested Shula, Minter, Evero, Shieldhouse, and LaFleur.
Okay. So they haven't interviewed those guys yet.
Harbaugh's a phone conversation.
So they technically already interviewed Harbaugh then.
They had a conversation with him. Now, is the phone call? What's the phone call? Is the phone call? Hey, what do you think about coaching the Raiders? He's like, nah, no thanks. That's a phone call that you had with John Harbaugh.
You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? Like they had a initial phone call. So they're like, hey, man, what about the Raiders? Like, some of this shit is vague as hell to me. Like, it's just vague. Like they requested. When is the actual interviews? You know what I mean? So, it is interesting. To me, I can say this. You can't say it, Glenn, but they got 3 black guys on here. So these guys are the Rudy rules. I think Shieldhouse is the 3rd black guy. So, yeah, that's super interesting too. So
that name would suggest otherwise. Nate Shieldhouse. I was like, what? Yeah, I remember him though. I remember him at Illinois. He was a good quarterback at Illinois.
Oh yeah, he was a quarterback. A little short dude, huh? A little short.
Yeah, he used to be a little motherfucker to bet against. Like you'd be betting on like a Big Ten school against Illinois. He'd be running around, scoring points. You'd be like, damn it, like he was good. I liked him. He seems to be he seems to be like the Davis Webb, kind of in the day where the league really likes him a lot. Yeah, and he seems to be really well thought of as like kind of the next coach, and teams are deciding whether they want to be early on a coach like that or wait a year to where he takes an offensive coordinator job and then try to get him again. But again, I can't say this for sure, but I hope that the Raiders aren't trying to hire a head coach next year. So if you like these guys, if Nate Shieldhouse kills his interview, if Davis Webb just kills his interview, you might be kicking yourself if you don't hire him right away because you don't think he's ready.
Yeah, somebody said that missing Flores and Saleh, but they haven't interviewed those. They haven't requested interviews from them.
They have not, and I bet. But the thing is, Brady did call the Niner game, so we have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
So Brady might have talked to Saleh or anything. Yeah, I mean, you got to realize like some of these teams are still playing. They were able to interview bye week guys last week, but now nobody's on a bye, so it's going to take a little while for teams to get eliminated. I believe, the name I didn't see is they reached out for Jeff Hafley, right? Is he on there?
Oh, yeah, I forgot him.
Jeff Hafley. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot Hafley. Yeah, they did do Hafley, too. They did request it. But only one team is interviewed Brian Flores.
Yeah, I tend to think Brian Flores media, he really paid a good PR team this offseason.
Yeah.
I just don't think the buzz is actually there for him.
Yeah. What does CJ Stroud just do? Just do a pick or something?
I don't know. I'm immediately regretting betting on the Texans. This is some Steeler nonsense happening right now.
Yeah,
they always do shit like this. It's always TJ Watt, strip sack, and then they find a way to run the ball. If I bet on the Steelers, they look like little rascals out there.
Yeah. We are. That's why
my TV's right here, guys. Like it's literally right here. Yeah. So if you see me glancing over here, it's literally me watching the TV. I'm watching the game. However, guys, this is very important what we're talking about right now. So I'm trying.
Yeah. It is kind of funny. CJ Stroud hasn't won playoff game on the road thing like Josh Allen does, because he hasn't. I should have thought about that shit before.
Yeah. Also, Mike Tomlin's lost like 6 straight playoff games, so that's why I'm betting on them. But I will say, what is this epidemic that we're seeing in the NFL right now? Of okay, our offense is rolling, we're moving the ball. Let's do the wildcat on short yardage. Blows it up, and they're like, oh, they blew it up, or a flea flicker, or reverse, or something. The only team I've seen pull it off was the damn Niners with Juwan Jennings, because he actually was a high school quarterback that was higher recruit than Sam Darnold. But other than that, like, your quarterback's the guy you want touching the ball after the center most of the time, right? That's the guy you want doing it. Teams are just taking players out all the time. In college, they're doing it. McDaniels is classic. Last night on 3rd and 4 runs a reverse, gets blown up or something. He tries to run a pass. But coaches are doing it. They're just getting so cute nowadays on 3rd down. Try that on 1st down.
Yeah, and the 4th down shit is crazy right now. Because it's funny. The Bears game. We can talk about this because before we get back to these coaches, the Bears game was hilarious. They went for it on 4th down like 4 times, and they were down 21-3, and then they started kicking field goals, and they came back.
Yeah. Wow. Don't get me started on 4th down. I am the biggest boomer about 4th down ever.
They literally started kicking field goals, and they came back.
Okay. I just hate it where they're like, you're only saying that because they didn't get it. I'm like, no. I did it before. I said, I wouldn't go for it there. Then they don't get it. And these coaches are going for it on like 4th and 4. Carolina against the Rams goes for it on 4th and 4 in like the first quarter. And they're like, this is what got us here. And so first off, your process, it's good process. It's a one and done playoff game. You don't have 1,000 chances at this like you do in a regular season game. Like you don't have like baseball. There's the only reason the reason that works in baseball is because you play 162 games. And you get a bunch of at-bats, and you get a bunch of – it's one and done. So, like, all I'm saying is, look, you want to go for it on 4th down, it's fine. But I think coaches go for it on 4th down a lot because the media has learned to not press them about it. And because it's analytically sound, apparently. Every time I watch it, it doesn't – it's like 1 for 4. It makes me pissed.
Yeah.
It pisses me out. Dan Campbell has ruined football. He has ruined football for a long time, or at least coaching, I should say, not football. Football's still great, but he's ruined coaching. It's
just weird to me. Like they literally started kicking field goals and they won.
Yeah,
they came back because it was like okay, we got some points. It was just a slow comeback, and they kept. It's just stupid.
Well, here's my thing. And I see somebody quoting OC Chris right there. He'll say. Analytics shows, and you'll always hear it. You'll always hear it in the booth. Like you'll hear poor Al Michaels, 80-year-old Al Michaels has to say this sentence. He probably sounds like he's having a stroke when he's saying it. Analytics says you have a higher chance of getting the 1st down in this situation. Okay, who do I fire then when it doesn't work? Do I fire math? Am I going to fire math, a math equation? Like, that's my thing. Like, no, it's a human being making this decision. And the Jaguars is another one, right?
Yeah.
I may or may not have bet on them, but still, in the first quarter, second quarter, they're driving down the field. They're dominating the beginning of that game. 4th and 2 comes up. They're easy chip shot field goal range. And Trevor Lawrence doesn't get it because he slides too early or whatever. Guess how many points they lost by, Marcus? 3. And that's a statistical anomaly if you bring that up. I'm like, no, it's not. They could have had 3 more points.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It doesn't make any damn sense. All right, but back to let's get some of these questions.
Yeah, I'm done with that. I'm already getting heated again. Yeah.
All right, based off his time in Tampa, do any of these coaches strike you as a spy tech guy?
To be honest, I have no clue. I really don't know what he wants in a coach. Because again, that's Jason Light over there. Like you maybe Spy Tech had a different idea. They had Todd Bowles for quite a while and Bruce Arians. So it's not like they were hiring coaches all the time. You have to remember too, Spy Tech was with the Eagles and the Browns too. So maybe there you can mind something. But I just think he's casting a wide net, and I think Kubiak's their number one guy, though. It's just in my opinion. I think it's Kubiak, Davis Webb, and then like maybe Shieldhouse or something. I think they're going to try to get Kubiak, and then I think if they don't get Kubiak, they'll get one of those young guys.
You know what's interesting is that the Grant Udinsky guy, was he in Tampa Bay?
I don't know if he ever was. He wasn't with Liam Cohen? No.
He was in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell, assistant quarterbacks.
But then Cohen, and was he ever with the Rams? Because Cohen was with the Rams for a little bit.
Well, no. Kevin O'Connell.
Is O'Connell? Yeah. It might be a connection there.
Interesting. I was trying because he got an interview with who did he get an interview with?
Browns.
The Browns. Okay. Yeah, because they haven't interviewed Mike McDaniel either, which I thought was interesting.
No, they don't seem to be doing that. They don't seem to be doing. It just doesn't seem to be an option for them. Kind of, I'm fine with that, I guess. But I kind of don't want to retread coach. I've been saying that for a while, so
yeah.
I guess I have to stand on that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Shout out East Bay Raiders girl. Put a ring on her now, man. She got you the mug. You gotta put a ring on it.
Shout out East Bay Raiderette. Thank you for buying it.
You gotta put a ring on it now, bro. You gotta put a ring on it. Could we say Herbert's contract is as bad as Tua's?
No. Herbert's a good quarterback. We're not sure. We're not sure that Tua's a good quarterback. We are sure that Herbert's a good quarterback. The problem is Herbert is talked about as this second coming of
like he's elite.
Yeah, and he's not. And it's clear he's not. And everybody has spreadsheets, has hypotheticals and everything, when that's kind of a weird battle to get into, because if they are that good, like my thing is like Joe, we know Joe Burrow's good because Zach Taylor is not a good coach. But Zach Taylor has a job because Joe Burrow's good.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert Greg Roman's probably going to get fired. I'd be shocked if he didn't. It'd be funny if I hope they keep him. But Justin Herbert doesn't keep coaches employed. It's all about we need to bring someone in for Justin. And it's like, at what point are you not this generational quarterback? Because I don't think he is.
Yeah, Justin Herbert's the second coming of Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, you think he's ever going to have that 40-year-old season where he goes off? I'm not.
Probably when he leaves the Chargers.
Right? Yeah. He might be the right. I was talking to my dad about that. My dad's like, hey, after Stafford retires, I'll give 3 first-round picks for Herbert. I was like, I hope you guys do that. Oh, I would love to see him do it in that stadium, not on the Chargers. Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. But it also, Greg Roman sucks. Somebody asked about Greg Roman, and I was like, that's why I didn't want Harbaugh, because he won't fire. He's not gonna fire his boy.
No, he's not. I don't. Did he ever fire him from San Francisco either? He never did, huh?
He never fired him.
Ride or die, dude.
That's his homie, dog. They're friends.
Yeah, I mean, how often? They go back to the Greg Roman empire. They're just. It's that long. That's how their families knew each other back then.
Yeah, for sure. Mentor, head coach, Shieldhouse, OC. See, that's the thing when you hire Jesse Mentor, is that he comes from that family. Who does he hire as the OC? We talked about this last week. You talked about Marcus Brady. Is that it? Who would he get?
I know. Yeah, you never know. I mean,
Todd Monken maybe now. Todd Monken.
Yeah, that doesn't make me super excited. I mean, Monken and Brock Bowers though, that's a nice little reunion. But other than that, yeah, to me, I just hire Shieldhouse as the head coach if you're going to do that. Because the problem is if Shieldhouse is good, and presumably if that's what the listener wanted, is that's who you want as your OC, he's gone the next year if he's good. Yeah. So I think Mentor is definitely an intriguing coach. I mean, their defense looked great last night, I thought, the Chargers. And to me, if you think Shieldhouse is worthy of being the Raiders offensive coordinator next year, hire him to be the next head coach, in my opinion. We're in that position right now where it doesn't really matter how many games the Raiders win next year. And I think that's kind of a weird thing to say. It feels weird even saying it, but it's true. We need to get the right coach in there, and we need to just kickstart a long process rather than these 2 or 3 year windows. It's like, no. We need to get into the 2 and 3 year windows. And next year can be a learning year for everybody. It should have been this year, and it's not.
Yeah. I think I skipped one. Oh, here we go. Marcus or Glenn, sell me on Davis Webb. Can he bring in nice DC? I have fears of his offense.
Do you know what his offense is?
That's the thing.
Yeah. Maybe that's the fear, is that maybe you just don't know what it is. I just think we're bringing in a rookie quarterback. You have to if you're taking a quarterback number 1, you have to make sure he has the best possible coaching around him. And I haven't heard anything but stellar praise around Davis Webb and his quarterback and who he is with quarterbacks. Daniel Jones, Bo Nix, just guys like that, guys who, you know, maybe weren't super highly thought of like coming out or were not. They attribute Davis Webb to a lot of their development and stuff. And even when he was a backup quarterback, this guy's a born coach. Who his DC hire is, that I don't know, but he's on the Broncos right now. They got a nice defense. Bring over somebody from there. That's cool with me. I don't know though. I don't know the answer to that in terms of who would be the defensive coordinator. But I think with him, Shieldhouse or something like that, I just think that's kind of the route the Raiders need to go, because when you hire a retread coach, subconsciously, those guys don't want to rebuild a retread head coach subconsciously. Like I was thinking about Matt LaFleur the other day, like he'd clearly would be the top of everyone's list, but also like Matt LaFleur never had to rebuild ever.
No.
He came in for Mike McCarthy. They were already a good team. Aaron Rodgers was there, and it was like, hey, Matt, can you make this work? You know?
Yeah.
And the transition to Jordan Love was really good, so I'll give him that. But I want a young coach to come in here and grow with the team, you know, and I think you have a chance to keep that. That's kind of the route the NFL is going in, because you see all these other teams doing the same thing, interviewing these guys.
Somebody mentioned Jim Leonard, and that's probably who Davis Webb.
That's right. That's right. Good point. Pretty big name, Jim Leonard. Pretty big name.
That would be fantastic. That's a reason to hire him right there, to be honest. You bring Jim Leonard with him. Yeah. That would be awesome for them. Should we be concerned about LaFleur's time with the Jets?
Yeah, a little bit. Zach Wilson. It's Zach Wilson, though.
I mean, he did okay with Mike White, right? I mean, Mike White.
Yeah.
He did pretty good. I mean, Garrett Wilson was pretty productive with him, too. They were stupid, and they listened to Aaron Rodgers, and they fired him for Nathaniel Hackett. So who knows? I mean, maybe if he had Aaron Rodgers and they kept him, that might have showed more for him. He probably might have already been a head coach, but he got fired so they could run slant flats all the time with Nathaniel Hackett. So that was stupid.
Yeah, the Mike LaFleur thing, you're just really banking on the Sean McVay thing kind of rubbing off on him. Honestly, it's people just want to hire guys from his tree because you look like Liam Cohen, Kevin O'Connell, you know, guys like that are doing really well around the league. You know, what are the chances you hire the bad one? I don't even want to talk about that, but like you want to keep striking the, you know, if you know there's oil there, keep drilling. That's the way. It's the way you gotta look at these things. Yeah, for sure. When do you expect a head coach hire, and when the head coach do you guys think is the first one to go? Well, I'll tell you right now, if the Seahawks lose this week, I think the Raiders are going to really go hard for Clint Kubiak. Yeah, I think so too. If the Niners take them out, which I don't think is they're 7-point. Seattle's 7-point favorites over the Niners, and I know they're losing. They're missing Kittle, but Trent Williams is back, and they didn't have Trent Williams last time they played. If the Niners beat them, which I'm not necessarily rooting for because I don't like the Niners, but if the Niners take them out, I think right then and there, if Kubiak wants to be the coach of the Raiders, he is by like the middle of that week, in my opinion. Yeah. and Sam Darnold might implode. Somebody said the Seahawks win the Super Bowl. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. They have the defense to do it for sure, but Darnold still has turned the ball over. He's had thrown 14 picks this year. That's a lot. That's a lot for a guy. Only 3 less than Geno. So imagine if the Raiders signed him, he threw 14. He would have threw just as many. It would have been bad. It would. At the end of the day, like we really didn't do. We just were doomed this year. It's sad to look at it that way, but we were doomed. Yeah. Well, then you have the other guys in the games. You have Davis Webb, who's on the Broncos. I think the Bills have a chance to take them out this week. I know we'll all, as Raider Nation, we'll all be hoping for that to be the case. You have, a lot of these guys. Now, I mean, again, they could also really like Ejiro Evero. I think it's Ejiro Evero. Evero. I think, Ejiro Evero. He's Nigerian. You don't say it Japanese though. You don't say it Japanese. You say it. The eyes are like A's. Ejiro. It's like Ejiro Evero. Yeah, and he if they love him, which apparently he's really well liked around the league, He played for the Raiders in 2004. I did not know that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He's from England.
Oh,
I'm not going to hold that against him, though it is in the back of my mind a little bit. Menelik Watson, you know, like I mean, just a little in the back of my mind, like I'm gonna be, yeah.
This is American football, not soccer, you know.
Yeah, but
we call your sport soccer, you know.
He did go to high school in Rancho Cucamonga, so he's been here for like 30 years. So that's cool. So and he played for the Raiders in 2004, and then he I think he was with the Rams as safeties coach, Denver as like some defensive quality control coach, and then he got to Carolina. So he's ascending. He's ascending in the way that you want to see a coach ascending. Again, to me, I just don't know the defensive coach route is where I want to go.
Yeah, because I think his OC, right? It would probably somebody from Dave Canales or something.
Could be somebody from McVay's tree. Could be somebody from if he's spent time in the Rams or the Broncos. It could be a Peyton guy.
It could be Davis Webb.
Could be Davis Webb. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But again, if you like Davis Webb enough to have him as your OC, you have to think about like I only have this guy for a year if he's good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Is Jay Ajayi where he's at? What is he doing?
Boise State legend. Is he gonna coach Genty?
Is he a coach somewhere?
Yeah, isn't he British too?
Oh, he's British. That's
we can't have too many British people. I've already had enough already. Like,
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I mean, Google
London. He's from London. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
He went to high school in Texas, though. That's how you know you were a beast in England. They were like, we need to get him to Texas.
Yeah. He wasn't that bad. If he had some knees, man, he wouldn't have been bad.
He wasn't. And I thought he got taken a lot higher for some reason. He was a 5th-round pick. Yeah. Oh, that's right.
He ain't got no knees, bro. That's why he's a 5th-round pick.
Is he coach? Is he good? Somebody was just saying that. I thought he was actually coaching somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh man. All right. Where am I at? Oh, where's McDaniels?
Mike McDaniel. Yeah, they have not brought him in. Yeah, no, they could have.
No. I think he's gonna be the Browns coach. I got a feeling.
McDaniel and Shador would be something.
Yeah. Do you think Mendoza could be as good as Drake May?
Yes, I do actually.
Yeah.
They play a similar. I tell you guys, like he's playing pretty crazy at Indiana. Mendoza. Don't get me wrong, he's playing lights out. Watch some of his Cal stuff. He was kind of throwing off platform super crazy. Like he was doing a lot of the stuff that you see, like a lot more of the Twitter highlight stuff, like that you see. But it was at Cal and nobody cared. So I was kind of like, oh, okay. There's a lot more. There's a lot more to that. To Mendoza than people think. I think he just has a good offensive line in Indiana and is just good receivers that get open and he gets the ball out on time. So I think it's a little bit different.
Yeah, because I watched this game against Cal versus Miami today. It was pretty. It was different. It looked totally different.
Like a different guy, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it looked different than it did at Indiana because Indiana's is all RPOs. And I realize that it's like they are all RPOs. I realized that.
Yeah, Cal was interesting because Cal was a lot of play action, which is nice. Cal was running a lot of play action, a lot of rollout, getting them on the move. I was like, this is nice. Yeah, like if you watch, like I just don't think a lot of fans have watched, especially because he's having such a big year for Indiana, Heisman, maybe a national championship, hopefully. Yeah, but I don't know I think rushing like Drake May can run. I mean, Drake May can like run. Like Mendoza can run though. Like people think he can't run. He can. It's just I think throwing the ball though. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Mendoza's arm talent, man. Like he can throw the damn football.
Yeah. Texas just went up 7-3.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's a beautiful play call.
Yeah. The third, fourth one. Why are you running wide?
The third. Yeah, just the play calls. I think it was when I was talking about fourth downs and like people running wildcats and like just getting cute on third down and then going for it on fourth down. Like I just hate the league for that right now.
Is Mendoza's mobility overrated? No, I think it's not utilized in Indiana. I think it's
watch the Cal tape.
Yeah. Because he juked the hell out of Ruben Bain in that game. I watched that Cal game. He juked the hell out of Ruben Bain.
No, and just throwing on the run too. Like just throwing on the run. He was doing a lot of that at Cal. I just think at Indiana, like he doesn't need to be a superstar as much at Indiana, which ironically he got the Heisman Trophy, but he had to do way more heroic stuff at Cal. Because they were playing like arena league football there. Like the scores were crazy.
All right, a couple more questions. You said you want to talk about Jay Glazer. So let's talk about Jay Glazer's comments in a second.
Yeah.
What if this was a stat QB college year? Would Mendoza still be going first?
Well, I mean,
like what do you mean? Like what do people mean by stacked? So like, is it like Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence stacked?
Yeah, and even then, think about that Trevor Lawrence draft. Think about the quarterbacks that went out in the Trevor Lawrence draft. I mean, you're talking about Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. You know, like it's weird. So yeah, 1983. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think Mendoza's going number one. I think most years he is though. Like I think most years he's coming out as the top guy. Like, and he's played a lot of football, which I like. I think that's really showing up in the NFL now. Is if you play a lot of college football, you can hit the ground running a little bit. You know, somebody like me who I just didn't see it with Bo Nix. I think him playing college football has like allowed him to make plays in the league at least. And then, you know, Penix in the same way. Like it just seems to hit the ground running. And then, you know, the Dante Moore thing, the Bryce Young, or not. I'm sorry, not Bryce Young. Who am I thinking? Trey Lance. Sorry, Trey Lance. Guys who just don't play a lot of football. Like it's, you know, it sounds obvious, but that's not working that well. I think most years Mendoza's top three in the class, almost all years, I would say, like except for a couple. But again, you don't have to be generational to go at one. I think he is the best player in the class, though. Like that's a hot take on for a lot of people. But the top of this draft class is not like most years at all. So it's not like I don't think you're passing up on a Von Miller or a Joe Thomas or like any, you know, just these guys that you think you'd be like, well, let me wait a year and get my core and get my offensive lineman or defensive line. I think the top of the class is Mendoza.
Yeah. See, it's just tough because like it just all depends on what film you watch. To me, in my opinion, I just think when I was watching the Cal game today, I realized that Indiana is more based on what Cignetti likes to do on offense than more than what he's doing what he's asked to do, which I think is a good thing though. I think that's a good thing. He's doing what he's asked to do. He's coachable, right? Yeah. But like at Cal, you'll see him go through reads,
right?
In Indiana, he doesn't do that.
He just was more creative at Cal. Like I think he's a better quarterback now at Indiana, like just because you know he's another year under his belt. But like Cal is you don't see anybody posting Fernando Mendoza Cal highlights ever. Like you just don't, because he had such a big year this year and Indiana's so good. But it's like, dude, that stuff will drive you. Well, some of the throws you're like, whoa, like just off platform, like just damn. Like, and that's when I started seeing some of the Drake May stuff where I'm like, hey, that's what Drake May does. I mean, I think he's a smidge less of a stronger, just a smidge weaker of an arm, but it's not enough for me to get concerned over. I watched Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts play. I don't think those guys could have got a speeding ticket in a residential with some of the arm strength in that game yesterday. Oh my gosh.
Purdy's the anticipation king. He just throws the ball super early. Like he anticipates like crazy. That's what he does. You know, because if he doesn't, he throws a pick like he did the Quinyon Mitchell, those two Quinyon Mitchell picks. If he doesn't anticipate, if he's late, it is picked off.
They won, but he played kind of an ugly game yesterday.
What are the bad things of the coaches like Kubiak? We kind of went over that last week. It's just kind of like the run game a little bit, the run game efficiency.
Red zone too. I mean, let's be real. Like he's got something to prove. He's got something to prove.
Yeah.
Like he's now I know people are saying, but Glenn, you're talking about hiring Davis Webb and like these guys that haven't coached before. That's true. So Kubiak, we've actually seen him run an offense. Therefore, we have concerns, so it's kind of a weird double-edged sword where it's like, well, I've seen the guy run an offense and it's been like this. Therefore, I'm going with the unseen thing. So I still would be very hopeful for Kubiak, but next year, I think for the Raiders to be good for potentially Fernando Mendoza's development is getting Ashton Genty and the run game to be dominant. And I hope Clint Kubiak can come in and do that right away, because change your last name if you can't, dude. You shouldn't be a Kubiak if you can't run the ball.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Jay Glazer. Said that the Raiders are the number one place for a head coach today.
Yes, he did. He couched it in the so what he said was, he said, I talked to guys around the league. And now I will say, Jay Glazer, I usually, when he's got a rumor, I typically trust him a little bit. Right. Yeah. Right. Like, I think he's right about a lot of stuff, or at least has good sources. And he said that he asked coaches around the league what they're looking for in a job, the coaching candidates. He didn't name who or anything, but he said they want a quarterback, they want a good GM, and they want ownership that doesn't meddle around. And they don't want a David Tepper, right? They wouldn't want old school Al Davis, if we're being real. And that's just not the way the game works anymore. And then they asked him what his preferred coaching opening was. Now he said, well, I work with Tom, so I got to say the Raiders, right? Yeah, it's the Raiders. I think he was sincerely saying that a lot of coaches are intrigued by the opening. And that's refreshing for me to hear, right? That's refreshing for me to hear if my interpretation of that is correct. I don't think a guy like that who's like an insider is going to just go, well, my friend's here, so I'll say his team. Nah, those dudes got to be right about stuff when they say that, or at least go with what they're hearing. And I think that one of my things about firing Pete Carroll during the season, or when the season wasn't going well, I was like, I just don't want to fire 3 coaches in 3 years, because that doesn't make the job look very appealing to a candidate who needs to, when you want to rebuild, like, the coach has to trust you'll be there for a long time. But what I'm glad to see is that doesn't seem to be the case. I think the league, the younger coaches out there are looking at the Pete Carroll thing going, hey, that wasn't a match. He was too old for what the Raiders needed to do and to get back from those rough years around the early 2020s, which I think that was in the Jeremy Fowler article. Look, they just didn't draft well at the early 2020s, so they just don't have the roster depth that you need. So I take it as a good sign that they're probably still an attractive job despite the history. And maybe for as much of Tom Brady, and I think coaches like John Spytek too. So that leads me to think that they're gonna at least get one of their top 1 or 2 names that they want on their board. Now, who are they? We'll see. But I think they're going to go super hard after Clint Kubiak, and might be enough to get him. We'll see.
Yeah, I think they're going to get a good head coach this time. I think Mark Davis kind of freaked out last time and went with Pete Carroll, because I just don't understand why they were so quick to hire him. That's why I kind of like that they're interviewing all these guys, because last time it just felt like they were just so damn quick. It was just like they jumped on. It was like Ben Johnson, Pete Carroll, that's it. And it's like, damn, like, I don't know what they thought Pete Carroll was going to bring winning right away. I think Mark Davis was trying to win instead of rebuild, right? He wanted to put a winning product on the field. And
right.
It went the opposite. You got senile Pete Carroll. You didn't get 2007 Pete Carroll. That was not. You got the guy 18 years later, and that's what ended up happening. You know what I mean? So it just ended up ugly that way. But I like what they're doing this time. They're being thorough. They're going through all these guys, and I think they're going to hire somebody that we're going to like. I think somebody's going to get some of the Raiders excited, and we could do some deep diving into and figure out who that is. I don't know how quick this is going to happen, though. So I think people are trying to figure out, like, how quick this is going to happen. I think it's going to take a while. I think it's going to be a while.
Yeah, and I think if you're Mark Davis, and I do think Pete was a Mark Davis hire. I do. I think Brady was involved in it too, but I think it was definitely a Mark Davis thing. Mark Davis likes a big name, and I think when you're Mark Davis and you're looking at the money you're making in Vegas, now some of that's from opposing fans, but the money's the money. I think it kind of rushes you a little bit. It kind of goes, I got to get a big coach in here because look, I'm making this money, and we're a winning product, and I want a winning coach to come in and coach my winning product. It's just not that simple. So I think finally just delegating that to people who spend their lives finding how the game works. I like to think John Spytek's one of those guys, and people around him and stuff. I think that's going to yield a good result. I do feel good about this. I think the longer they go without hiring a coach, the better, in my opinion. Like if they announce tomorrow that they hired like a coach, I guess I'd be okay with it. But I'd like for them to take their time. Just take your time. Nobody's hired anyone yet.
Yeah. Oh, you already got a sure fumble. Why can't CJ catch the ball today? He's trying. Oh my God. He is. It looks awful. Good Lord. All right. Different ways of asking which offensive guy runs the system that works with Mendoza. I think you got to get a West Coast guy in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gotta get a West Coast guy in here. That's what I think, dude. I think so. Yeah. See, Vinny won't be directly covering the Raiders anymore.
He's still doing the morning show, I believe.
Yeah.
He's still doing the morning show. But yeah, I mean, good for him. It sounds like it's for a opportunity he feels is better. I think. So
yeah, he's starting the New York Post in California, basically.
Crazy. So yeah, I mean, that's what I mean is he's leaving on good. Bill, I got love for Vinny, so I got
love for Vinny too.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like him, but I don't. To me, I think he did a pretty good job, and he asked some of the better questions at the press conferences.
Yeah, everybody's talking about that one press conference yesterday with the lady made Liam Cohen feel good, like he's about to cry.
Yeah, that's funny. That was funny.
You thought he was about to cry, man. That black lady had him in tears. He was like.
Yeah, especially after you lose like that.
I did have a good season.
That's funny, man.
The reporters were so mad, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. They were so mad at that shit. But it is funny. The reporting is like super strict, man. They're like, oh, like you can't cheer and you can't wear any gear. You can't do anything. Like, they're fucking strict as fuck over there, dog. It's just crazy for no damn reason. So they can ask stupid ass questions themselves. So Hondo could ask. So how was it as in Las Vegas?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Would you? Do you have any other sons that we should hire, Pete?
Yeah, and I'd say there's no dissing Bill. He pays my bills. Bill Williamson pays my bills, so we are not dissing Bill Williamson in my chat. He pays the bills over here a little bit for me and Matt. Since we work for him. Silver Black Pride. That's my boss. That's my boss, man. All right. Has anybody interviewed McDaniel yet? Just the Browns, right?
The Browns have something scheduled with him. I don't know if it's actually happened yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they interviewed him today. Because now teams they get the social media thing where like the Raiders haven't done any of that. The Raiders,
they don't.
Social media team sucks. We don't have the meme come out. We interviewed this guy.
Do you think that's? Can I put my tinfoil hat on here for a second?
Go ahead. Get your tinfoil hat.
What if we're doing illegal interviews and they don't want social media to know about it? What, like, because you don't want to be like, we interviewed Robert Saul. It's like, what? We interviewed so and so. We interviewed, or got a second, like maybe they're just keeping the social media team. I'm fine with that. I don't need, I'm fine to hear it from Schefter. I'm fine to hear it from him. I don't need to hear it from the team site.
Yeah. Because McDaniel's he's interviewed for the Lions OC next too.
That would be interesting weighing those two jobs out. Would you rather be the Browns head coach next year or the Lions offensive coordinator?
Lions offensive coordinator.
That's interesting. That's what I mean. I think I might do that if I'm him. Like you're like, okay, I could go. I got Jahmyr Gibbs. I love to run the football, and I'm coaching indoors now. Like I tell you, man. And otherwise, next year you could be one and done at Cleveland because you don't have a quarterback.
Who do you see from the candidates that could potentially become coordinators? Probably Shieldhouse, Webb.
Yeah,
That's probably about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because a lot of the defensive guys already are coordinators, so they're not going to leave to come coach the Raiders. I mean, let's be real. Like most defenses are better than the Raiders right now.
Yeah. He said Mentor Ren said the Mentor is the Raiders' first choice.
I don't think so, but the Michigan thing, you never know.
You never know.
I wouldn't hate it. I just the revolving door at offensive court. Like I'll put it this way: look at CJ Stroud right now. He has a good head coach, a defensive head coach. And I don't think they regret hiring D'Amico Ryans at all. But he's had 3 OCs in 3 years already.
Yeah,
I think it's been 3 if I'm not mistaken.
Two.
There's had 2. Okay, so what I mean is that and if his next OC, you're trying to develop a quarterback, and even in a good situation, you can lose your OC. You know, and it's just that's kind of the tough part about it. So I'm not anti-hiring Jesse Minter because I do think he's running that defense right now. And also, what happens when the Jesse Minter defense becomes Seattle cover 3 and everybody knows how to beat it? Because that's my problem with defenses is they go out of style sometimes. Like like in 3 or 4 years, when like everybody figures out how to beat the Mike McDonald, Jesse Minter thing. And I know, Matt will talk about how it's like being multiple and all this stuff and adaptable game planning and all stuff. People figure this shit out. The offensive minds figure this stuff out. And then you're stuck with a revolving door at OC and then a defensive coach whose scheme might be a little outdated.
Yeah. Or can't get the same players.
Exactly. It happens a lot. It's really tough to keep a defense together in general.
Yeah. Because Staley looks good again at the Saints. Right. And some guys are just DCs too. You know what I mean?
Some guys are just DCs.
Webb gets the job despite the higher DC to boost his coaching staff. We kind of talked about it a little bit. I mean, maybe Flores, but I think if they get Webb, he's hiring Leonard 100%. I think that would be like automatic.
I think that makes Davis Webb go way up my list. I mean, I'm very high on him already, but like if you had an experienced quarterback coach there with Davis Webb. And then, like, somebody like that to kind of ease the situation going. And then you had Jim Leonard come in and coach at DC. I'd feel really good about that.
Yeah. MBZX. He's Jervis' defensive coach. How many times has he made the playoffs? Well, he has Josh Allen.
He has Josh Allen, and also his defenses suck.
And he gave him 13 seconds. Is all I got to say. 13 seconds.
His defenses suck. Like the Bills' defense is not good. I don't know what to tell you.
They were good. They were good for a while. I just think those players kind of died off.
Yeah.
And 13 seconds. That's all I got to say about McDermott. 13 seconds.
Yeah, it's and again, you're talking about that. I can you give me one name. I mean, it's just a lot of these guys. Like I'm not saying never hire defense. I'm saying for the Raiders right now, I go offense.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Raiders have hired 2 defensive coaches back to back. If you think about it,
that is true.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna have gonna pick Chargers to win it, probably.
Yes, always happens.
Watch the recent breakout you done the online draft prospect. Do you think the Raiders will go free agent instead of drafting O-line? Would you want a free agent? Yeah, I think they do both. To be honest,
they have a lot of youth on the O-line right now. A lot of youth. You got to keep the Charles Grant development going. Got to keep Caleb Rogers development going. You got to see what you have in JPJ. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Hopefully the next coach can get that going together. And then I go bring in a David Edwards, try to go get Braden Smith, try to do stuff like that. For wide receiver, I kind of have the same idea too. By the way, have you been watching some of these later round day 3 receivers? I've been watching a little bit, man. Some of these
who are you talking about? I watched a lot of them.
2 guys I like later, and these are guys that I think are like 4th, 5th, 6th round picks, maybe day 3, which is kind of when I'd want to take a receiver. Chase Roberts out of BYU.
Okay, I like Chase. I do.
I like him. 6'4". They say 4.5. I think he's a little slower than that. I don't think he's very fast. But with Mendoza with those back shoulder throws, I think he's got it. I like this guy out of Georgia State, Ted Hurst.
Oh, I see. I haven't watched. You haven't watched
Ted Hurst. I'm telling you, he has a weird build, man, and I think it's going to drop him down to day 3. Obviously, the school too. 6'3", 185. So he's a little skinny. He is electric though, and he has tough, strong hands, can catch in traffic.
Mhm.
I really like Ted.
I think he's at the Senior Bowl. I saw his name at the
Okay,
Senior Bowl.
so I'm saying like keep an eye on Ted Hurst. Those are guys like later in the draft I'd like to get, and then maybe in 2027 you target receiver early. I think
A couple guys I like there. I like Brennan Thompson from Mississippi State.
Little guy,
He's
right?
a little dude.
Mm-hmm.
Can he run routes? And is he explosive? He's an explosive player too. I like Eric Rivers too from Georgia Tech. I like him a little bit.
Yes, yeah, I like him. Ooh,
Eric Rivers, yeah. Later guys.
Yeah,
and I know you don't like Malachi Fields, but later on, I like Malachi Fields.
I just barely saw him play. I mean, they ran the ball so much. I'm just like, it's like Georgia Tech. It's like I just don't know if I like him or not. And I feel like Malachi Fields is going to go a little earlier than he should. I think I think he's a 4th round pick or something. I feel like somebody's going to take him in like the late 2nd or something. It's gonna be crazy because he's big, strong, and fast. And but yeah, I'll tell you, the Chase Roberts out of BYU, I was like, I just saw tough, strong hands. I think the receiver room needs one more big body. And then this Ted Hurst guy's interesting. I don't know if it's gonna work, but man, you watch it, you're just like, whoa, like just 6'3", 185, and he's not a young college player either. So I don't know if that frame's ever gonna fill out, but yeah, this is some of those day 3 receivers. I think are going to be moved up, targets for the Raiders, in my opinion. Big SC asked, is Brady Thompson the dude? Yeah, that's him. The dude he just tore up ASU. Yeah, he had a crazy game against Florida too, man. He was eating against Florida. I haven't watched Eric McAllister. I know a lot of people really like him, but I saw
it's a good wide receiver class though. It is, man. Like depth wise.
Yeah. I don't. There's not a Jamar Chase, but Jordan Tyson's really good, I think. But
yeah, Carnal Tate's
really good. I just still don't know if it's like the Jamar Chase year for the things, which is fine because I think it's a little decadent, and the Raiders have been a little decadent in the draft the last couple of years, and they've neglected the trenches a little bit, especially on defense, with early picks. And I think they really need to be disciplined and pick and beef up the defense. Rounds 2 and 3, really. I feel like those have to be defense.
Yeah, or Zachariah Branch too. I like him too.
Yeah, and he declared, which is I know people weren't sure about that for a while. A couple Georgia guys declared that, I think, because Monroe Freeling I think is really interesting too from Georgia, the right tackle. So there's a couple guys from Georgia that I wasn't sure they were going to declare or not. So something to think about.
What would you say are the front runners for head coach?
I think Kubiak's their number 1.
Yeah, I think Kubiak's.
I think he's their number 1. Does Kubiak want the job? I don't know. He agreed to an interview, so he clearly is intrigued a little bit more than Ben Johnson.
He did the interview too.
More than Ben Johnson was, so that's good. And then I think behind that, I think it's the Webbs and Shieldhouses of the world, just in my opinion. But Minter might be up there with that Michigan connection.
Yeah. Who else has interviewed Webb besides the Raiders?
The Ravens, I believe.
Okay.
I believe they did. So one other team did for sure.
Yeah. So it's a Dollar Tree Mahomes. Went to Oregon. What do you think about a 4th for DJ Moore or Pittman? Would they give up DJ Moore for a 4th?
Yeah, he's got a big contract. Bears do not like his contract right now. Yeah, I would. For either of those guys, I would. Moore is kind of hit and miss, but it'd be a good gamble. 4th round pick, good gamble. I mean, put it this way: you drafted Dante Thornton in the 4th round, or you could trade for DJ Moore, and you have a bunch of money to pay him. I'd think about it for sure. I think Pittman goes for a little more than that, and but I think Moore for sure, because especially if they love Luther Bird and Adunze, and they don't want to pay.
Why are the Raiders the only place to the only 2 teams that interviewed McDaniel, right?
Yeah, I don't think we're the only place that's not.
Yeah. Do you think Mendoza is better than Herbert? Whoa, let's not go there yet.
Damn, I look like Colin Cowherd. I love Colin Cowherd, so that's a compliment.
Somebody else called us dorks earlier. You saw that?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it ain't the first time it's happened to me, so that's fine. But yeah, I mean, whatever. But no, I'll take the Colin. I love Colin Cowherd. Dude, Colin Cowherd every day goes solo for like 4 hours and just cats off. I love it, and he's an artist, man. He is an artist. The Baker thing, people don't understand how funny the Baker thing was when Baker was coming out. He was like, Baker looks like, yeah, he seems like a mustard on both sides of the bread guy, and you're just like, what are you talking about? And he just kept going, man.
Yeah, he said something crazy today. He said Josh Allen's better than Dan Marino and John Elway.
Yeah, I love it because that's like what you need to do. Like, you're not a serious football mind, so you might as well be funny and entertaining.
Yeah.
No, Cowherd is not a cornball, dude. Get out of here.
Why are you talking about Indiana cheating? Because they're 14-0. It's Indiana. That's why. That's why I'm talking about Indiana cheating. I've seen all types of videos on TikTok. Like, there's a video of like Mendoza like putting something on his hands. I don't know if you saw that one. They put the eerie music. Doo, doo, doo,
oh my gosh. Well, hey, let's.
I was thinking Raiders rule number 1.
And we have Brady. We have maybe a cheating Indiana quarterback. Oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
If you had to put a bet on it, who do you think will end up being the Raiders head coach? If you had to put a bet,
Davis Webb, because betting is odds, right? So I wouldn't bet on the odds-on favorite. I'd say in my opinion, I think Kubiak is the favorite. I think because I think that's who they want the most, and I think the job is kind of attractive now. If I'm to take that Jay Glazer thing seriously, I think Davis Webb ends up being the coach.
Yeah, we're taking betting odds. I'm gonna take Shieldhouse.
That you'd get great odds, and I think that's a good one. I think he'd in odds be like 5th, but I think they actually value him higher than 5th. I think you're right.
It's not. I mean, it's kind of crazy to say now that he's not as good as he's better than Elway and Marino. I don't know. It's just you gotta give me some time there, man. I'm a big Marino guy though, because Marino never had a defense in a time where like you had to have a defense to win. Marino never had one.
My dad is not a Dolphins fan, but for some reason he had on tape Marino tearing apart the 85 Bears on Monday Night Football. He's the only coach to do it, and he was just ripping. And my dad's just like, "This is so sick." He just had it on tape. Yeah, old school, like boomer written, like 1984 or whatever. Just
100%, dude. What do you think about the trading up multiple times in the draft? I think if they have a guy that falls to them in the first that they really like, I think they should do it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't cost you that much. What did the Giants trade to get Jackson Dart last year? It wasn't a first.
Mm-mm.
So if you're not talking about a future first, I really don't care. Now, the thing is, like, I would trade up and then I would trade back later a little bit and just stack later.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But at 36, they should have something fall to them at 36. That's good, I think.
Yeah. Like if the league gets stupid with Bane, I mean, it's a possibility if the league gets stupid with him.
Or Caden McDonald, man. That's what I think sometimes these to me at 36 is a prime for like a good nose tackle. That's obviously a first round talent, but like the league is just like, nah, we're not going to take him. Nah, we're not going to take him. We already have one of those guys. And if like Caden McDonald's there, I'll just sprint the card in.
Yeah, see, the thing is since Amari Washington didn't come out, it's going to be a little different.
That's going to be different for sure. Yeah, for sure.
It's like Caleb Downs might fall too.
See, some people saying he's the best position player in the draft. I don't know. I saw some people say he's the best prospect since Sean Taylor. Like, no, he's not.
Sean Taylor's 6'3", 230.
No, but since Sean Taylor, which is also not true.
Like people
forget. People forget the safeties that have come into this league since Sean Taylor.
You got to put in perspective that Sean Taylor was 6'3", 230. And ran a 4.5 at safety.
Yeah, and
230 pounds.
People forget about Eric Berry. Remember Eric Berry in college?
Sean Taylor was overrated.
Yeah, Yeah,
Whoa,
no,
whoa,
come
whoa,
on,
Gary.
come
Come on,
on.
Gary. Whoa,
Yeah,
Gary.
all right. Yeah, that's just not true. But no, but like Eric Berry, people forget because Eric Berry had cancer when he was in the league, so
Oh,
like
yeah.
it screwed up his career a little bit. Eric Berry, when he was he Tennessee? It's either Tennessee or Texas, I couldn't remember, but he was just a monster there. Like, I just mean, like, I think Caleb Downs is a very, very, very good player. I don't think he's this like safety that you're, you know, I don't think he's like a surefire Hall of Fame safety like some of the other guys in the league.
Yeah. I mean, Sean Taylor would have been Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
right?
Derwin James as a prospect was nuts.
Yeah. I think Caleb Downs. People like Caleb Downs because he could play in the box and play high. So that's why I believe.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, hey, I'd be happy to have him most years if we didn't need a quarterback.
Yeah, be stupid, NFL. Be stupid.
Yeah, there's always one guy that slides out of the first round. There's always one guy where you just can't believe he's still there.
Yeah. Or Sonny Styles could be that guy too, like linebackers.
Yeah, linebackers. I mean, Romello Height, somebody like that. You know, like there's guys that I think are first rounders that just aren't gonna go there. So
yeah. I think CJ Stroud.
What is CJ Stroud? I bet on CJ Stroud and he looks like I don't even. Quarterback.
What is he doing? What kind of throw is that?
If I bet against CJ Stroud, he looks like Dan Marino or something. But if I bet on him, he just looks like David Garrard.
What is he doing?
Yeah. What is happening?
If it's Kubiak, the OC, DC, I don't know. I mean, I think the DC. That's a good question.
Yeah,
it still could be Jim Leonard, man. I think they should hire Jim Leonard regardless.
I know, right? Just go ahead. This is your defensive coordinator. Shut up. Who cares? Yeah, like you don't care about that. Or I mean, somebody from the I mean, he's in Seattle right now. There might be somebody from the McDonald kind of tree that's just like, hey, this guy's next up, linebacker coach or something.
Everybody got bosses comments. What he?
How do you guys feel about what is it? Oh, Hondo letting Brent with his everybody's got maybe they're friends, dude.
I don't know about Hondo, man.
Maybe Hondo and Brendan Carroll go fishing together. Maybe you ever think about that? Maybe you ever think about the power of friendship? You guys ever think about that? Maybe they go to Jimmy John's together.
Yeah, maybe they eat sandwiches. You know,
you guys ever think about stuff like that? Is it all just football with you guys and talent and being good at your job?
All right. Would you trade one for Burrow? Oh man, guys. I mean, technically yes, but
we're just not there yet. I'm telling you, we're not there yet. No. I want somebody who isn't jaded on NFL football right now. I want a guy who's happy to be here.
Yeah. All right. With Mendoza likely being the first pick, which defense do you see him struggle the most against?
That's a good question. I'll say KC because Spags.
Yeah, and they'll throw a bunch of shit at him.
Spags.
Throw a bunch of blitzes at him.
I'm not. Sean McDermott is only in the league because Josh Allen.
Yeah,
he's only a head coach because of Josh Allen.
Did you see Brady was glazing Salah like crazy in the 49ers game? I mean, Brady's just getting better at being a commentator. I think
he's really good. He's become the best. I think actually.
I know, because people like Greg Olsen just because he likes analytics. Because Greg
Olsen. I was screaming at Greg Olsen because of my fourth down take the whole time. And he's like, it's easy to judge it after the fact. It's like Greg, FaceTime me during the game. I will judge it before every play. Before that. No, I think Brady's good because Brady enjoys the game and he's not super like annoying like Romo. So it's like he lets the play breathe and he'll go, that. And I will say Burkhart's really good because Burkhardt will just call him a dork sometimes. When Brady was doing that science of throwing the ball in cold weather, and then Burkhardt goes, "Thanks for the science lesson, Tom," and then goes back to the game. And I was like, "That's pretty sick that you can make fun of Tom Brady." They're a great combination. I don't know what that means for Salah, though. I don't know what that means. I think people want him, right? Nobody. I guess because the Niners were wild card, so nobody could ever request to interview him just yet. I don't know.
Nobody wants it, but yeah, I think I like Brady better than Greg Olsen, but yeah, because Greg Olsen's also a go for 2 down 9 guy. Stupidest shit I ever heard is to go for 2 down 9. Has to be the stupidest thing. Like, why? You missed. Now you're still down 2 scores.
Yeah, they're dumb. I'm telling you, like, I don't know what it is, but like I said, it was the Dan Campbell thing. But they found out that Dan Campbell never gets in trouble for going for it on 4th down. Like when he lost during the Lions' best year, when he lost against the Niners, he went for like 7 4th downs and didn't get them, and he just cried. That's all he did was cry. Go, I trust my guys. With his little Applebee's visor on, and when that happened, that I think the rest of the league goes, oh, I can just go for all 4th downs now, and I won't get in trouble because of analytics.
Yeah.
Romeo Dobbs. No, I don't like Romeo Dobbs. He can't catch the ball.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy to come to Raiders.
He cannot. It would be the most Raider thing ever is the guy who can't catch the ball. Plus, also, nobody looks good in a Guardian cap. Sorry. You cannot make a sick play in a Guardian cap. Like, it doesn't matter what you did. You look at it, it's like Marvin the Martian. You're like, they got to find a way to make those things look cool, man.
Yeah, they got to find a way.
They got to find a way. Because, man, if you could make the Odell Monday Night Football catch in a Guardian cap, and I'll just fall asleep during it.
Yeah. All right. If Kubiak is the guy who the running back, I still think they got to get another one at the running back. I think so.
Yes, I do those little mock draft simulators, and those little like Nick Singleton and Katron Allen are always there on day 3, and I'm like, yeah, let me scoop them up real fast. Not think about running back for the next 5 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they could use another one for sure. It's a good free agent running back class. It's a good free agent. I think we went over it a while back.
Yeah, you think the Ravens would hire Kubiak with the system for Lamar? I think so. I mean, it's just I think Kubiak's system is. I don't know if Kubiak could do the whole zone read stuff. I don't think he does that though.
I hope the Ravens hire Cliff Kingsbury. I think that would be so funny. They interviewed him today. I really hope that happens. I think I don't know. I think Todd Monken was like good, and I think they just had a bad year this year. So
yeah, I guess him and Lamar have beef though.
You almost won an MVP with Todd Monken. The grass is not always greener, Lamar.
I know. Have you watched Nikki Prongos from Stanford?
I have not. I'll tell you, I wish we needed another tight end because they have a great tight end that's going to go day 3. Sam Roush, I want to say is his name. Beast at Stanford.
If they should get a tight end, they should draft a Indiana tight end late because then he could play fullback.
Eli Raridan from Notre Dame's also a beast, and he just like Malachi Fields, he had like 5 catches on the year, but he's just like 6'7", can run fast and can block. And I'm like, ooh, if that was our 3rd tight end we drafted in like the 5th or 6th round, ooh. And then why do you think Mayer leaves after a year? Yeah, you never know.
Why do you think the media hates Mendoza? I think you want to know why I think the media doesn't like Mendoza, because Mendoza can't do what Caleb Williams did on that 4th down.
Never.
And that's the thing. It's like when Mahomes was drafted, right? The whole view of what a number 1 pick, even though he went 10 and the team had to trade up from 28 to take him. Everybody has this mindset that a number 1 draft pick has to look like Mahomes. That's what, if he doesn't look like Mahomes, it's not a number 1 draft pick. And Mendoza doesn't look like Mahomes. Mahomes looks like a number 1 draft pick from like 2016. Or, you know what I mean?
Right.
But that's what they want. Everybody wants the number 1 draft pick to be able to make that throw that Caleb Williams made. And that's really what it is.
Yeah. And also, I still don't think they're just ready for like Indiana, that Indiana's good. I think that's a big thing. Like, if the number 1 pick comes from Ohio State, if the number 1 pick comes from USC, if the number 1 pick comes from like a school that people are used to being really good at football, but it's Indiana. And it's just like, it's India. People just don't understand that Indiana is good.
Is Peter Woods dropping in the draft?
From your lips to God's ears, sir.
Unless people really get turned off by him not being a great pass rusher, but that would be stupid. That'd be dumb. Mm-hmm. What do you want to see how he performs against Miami? Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting, but it's not gonna sway me in any way, shape, or form of the Raiders pick, though. Like, just it might be, he's gonna go up against the front, but it's a tough front. But I mean, I don't see any way Miami wins that game.
Yeah. I think it's. Any more questions here? Am I missing any questions?
Somebody said you missed a super chat.
I missed a super chat. Oh, what super chat did I miss?
I don't know. Somebody said
mentor for Ravens head coach.
Oh, okay.
Minter. I thought
Minter. Yeah, Minter. Jesse Minter. Yeah.
I saw that, but I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, he's going to. Yeah. That would make a lot of sense, right? Like the Ravens is going defensive code. They have a lot of talent on defense. Their quarterback's been in the league for a long time. You know, I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah. I mean, I was confused by that. Sorry about that. I missed that one. I think that's it, guys. So we are out of here about an hour 15. We got 700 in here today, though.
There you go.
We're cooking lately, Glenn.
Yeah,
7K for the Friday Night Live. You know what I mean? And then
that was nuts.
And I think we got another Friday Live with the Miami games on Friday, right?
It's Monday.
It's Monday.
Next week. Yeah.
Oh, so next week
we'll do this. Yeah, but yeah, that's the national championship is Monday.
Monday, Miami.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We got NFL Saturday, NFL Sunday, college football Monday, and then no more college football. But it's draft time, so rewatch college football over and over again.
And then we'll be at the Senior Bowl.
Man. I'm jealous.
Yeah, me and Matt will be at the Senior Bowl. That's coming up here. He said we're all here for the Baby Chick voicemails, which will be to show. I got you, David. David wants to know what is our Super Bowl pick. I go Bills versus Rams.
That's pretty good. I do think the Rams are going to win the NFC, but I think I'll be different than you, and I'm going to say Houston. I'm going to say Houston and the Rams. I think Houston's going to gut this game out, and then they're going to roll somebody after this.
Yeah, I like the Bills because I just think Josh Allen, playoff Josh, is going to just keep happening, and I think the Broncos aren't ready for that.
Bills are favored at Mile High and against a team they're a team on a bye, and they're underdogs.
So over under 6, baby. We already got 2.
Hammer the over.
We already got 2, guys.
Hammer the over.
We already got 2.
It's Monday and we have 2. Yeah, guys, hammer the over. My sources have confirmed that he's probably going to have a couple MD 2020 bottles and call in.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys Friday, and then we'll do this again, guys. But we're out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Peace.